Hey guys, just wanted to do a quickie review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 14, Watchdogs. So, Mac is at home with his brother Ruben, and they're just having some quality time, and there's even a mention on the news about the gang war in Hell's Kitchen in reference to Daredevil Season 2, and also this, hate terrorist group known as the Watchdogs, which was name dropped a few episodes back, attacking attacking a building, referring to the events of Avengers 1 and 2. And they blow up the government building using what we later learned is natramine, which is like a Howard Stark tech, which causes the building to explode and then collapse on itself, which was used by Leviathan, which is technology that was stolen by Leviathan during the events of season 1 of Agent Carter. And of course, Daisy, being pissed off about the hate group, wants to use her powers to coerce a suspect into finding out the location of their base. Mac doesn't approve of it, so she brings Fitz along to stop him on the middle of the road and use his powers to scare him for answers. All three of them go to the compound, and apparently Ruben follows along because he wants to show off his new bike to Mac or something, and also because of the fact that Ruben apparently shows the xenophobia towards Inhumans, and he's been reading about the Watchdogs on websites, and Mac has warned him earlier in the episode to stay away from them, and that they're dangerous, knowing that he might be tempted to join them. And he essentially blows their cover, and it leads to Ruben running off because he witnesses Daisy using her powers, Mac having to chase after him, and when Daisy runs up to go check the compound looking for the Watchdogs, Fitz gets hit with the natramine and has to go inside one of those pods to hold the Inhumans, and they capture one of the Watchdog members and try to figure out a way to remove it, and which they successfully do, but it turns out that they wanted an Inhuman to attack the compound to further, gain more public sympathy and galvanize supporters, etc. And so it turns out that they end up following Mac and his brother back to their house, and they're willing to kill them just for being associated with an Inhuman. And so they have to fight their way out. Mac finally gets to use his shotgun axe by taking a meat cleaver and taping it to his shotgun, using it as a makeshift bayonet. And when one of the Watchdogs shoots Mac, Ruben ends up firing on one of the Watchdogs to save his life. And when Ruben's being taken to the hospital, when Mac's being taken to the hospital, Daisy learns from him that his nickname is Alfie, and she takes in great glee of trying to give him the same nickname. Start calling him that just to make fun of him, and he seems to obviously change his tune about both his brother working for the government because he's very much against the man and feels like they've been screwing him over, and also about Inhumans, since he realizes that apparently how good friends that Daisy and Mac are. And another subplot is exploring Simmons' guilt over letting Lash or Andrew out just to get out of the Hydra compound in the mid-season finale, and leading to other encased Inhumans being killed as a result. That's why she was gun training. And May encourages her to use her guilt as a driving motivation and not to let it consume her or get the best of her. And so they decide to work together and start tracking Lash. And when Simmons brings up the cure, about a way to cure it using Creel's blood, May just says that he's just gonna kill he just wants to kill him, and she doesn't want to get her hopes up and then have it crushed at the have it crushed at the last second. And it's also revealed that the former Shield agent from season 1, Blake, was actually the one leading the Watchdogs, because he's embittered over the fact about the Hydra conspiracy, and as well as the appearance of Inhumans, and the fact how he holds the Avengers responsible for the Ultron incident in Sokovia, and Shield allowing the Chitauri invasion. And now he feels like Coulson's lost his way, and that Blake is the one who sees himself as a savior wanting to protect the world. And so he brings Lincoln along with them to investigate one of the safe houses, and he talks about how he feels like Lincoln's only there because of for Daisy's sake. He doesn't know him. He feels like he's a loose cannon because he was willing to kill Creel as well as Lash, and let his emotions get the best of him, and that he has to evaluate and determine whether he's going to stay on board S.H.I.E.L.D. and dedicate himself to the cause. And so when they show up at Blake's safe house, and he's giving one of his speeches, Coulson just tells Lincoln just to kill him with his powers, and Blake's reluctant, so he just uses like a low-level shock to electrocute him, and then they find out it's a hologram. And Coulson figures that he knew it was a hologram because there was a lag, and he was standing in place, and Blake is usually more interruptive during conversations. And he realized, and because he was going to be merciful, even though he went against Coulson's orders to not do so, he's proven himself a valuable member of the team. And they also reveal at the end of the episode that it turns out that the Watchdogs were being manipulated by Hydra and Malik, and that they were the ones being provided intel and weapons from them for the attacks to further their goals. And you found out that Blake really was still paralyzed from his attack from Deathlock, as he's been confined to a wheelchair, and he's meeting with I think Guylan is his name, and apparently he's providing him with a nuclear warhead or some kind of warhead for another attack. It's a pretty good episode. I kind of feel like ever since I got back from hiatus, some of these S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes, the plot about the whole Malik and Hive hasn't progressed quite as much as it has been. It has slowed down a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but next week, based on the promo, it looks like it's going to start to pick up some speed, in which they find Malik's location and learn about Hive. And it's based on how it's being hyped up, it's supposed to be a big turning point for the season arc, and I hope that it lives up to the hype. So what do you guys think of the episode? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.